Okay, so we're going to start by talking about what causes demand to shift around. So up here on the board, I've got a demand curve. Demand number 1, the original, okay? This is the OG demand. We're going to see that demand can shift one of two directions. It can shift to the right, whoop, or it can, of course, shift to the left, whoop. And so the direction that it shifts is going to indicate if there's more demand or if there's less demand, even when the price of the product we're looking at hasn't changed at all. So here we are on a slideshow. So the first thing we need to recognize is that these shifts are changes in quantity, the amount that we will buy, and they're going to be caused to external factors. They're not going to be caused by prices changing. They're going to be caused by some other thing changing. And so we're going to see that it's a little bit like the Cupid shuffle. You know, you're going to go to the left, or to the right, whatever. It's stupid. So what we're going to talk about now is what causes that. Well, let's talk about moving to the right, When demand moves to the right, it's because people want to buy more of the product than they did before, okay? So like you have an original demand curve, prices are still the same, but people are buying more of that product than they used to, so an increase in the quantity. So you have to ask, what would cause that? Well, there's 3 things that we need to know about. There's tons of causes, but we're going to only focus on 3, okay? And they are right here. First, maybe your income has changed. This is what caused Jimmy to buy more gum than he would before. It's because his income changed. Second, maybe a substitute good gets more expensive. Now, when we talk about substitutes, we're simply referring to 2 products that are very similar. Think about Coca-Cola and Pepsi. If you typically buy Pepsi, but then all of a sudden the price of Coca-Cola, I should say the price of Pepsi goes way up, well, then you're actually going to go buy more Coca-Cola. I don't know if I said that right. Regardless, the price of Pepsi will impact how much Coca-Cola you buy. So your demand curve for Coca-Cola might shift because the price of Pepsi goes up. I hope that made more sense. The third thing is called consumer tastes. Tastes in this context means what you think is cool or uncool, what you like or dislike. So if all of a sudden people liked those spinny things again, then we would see demand shift to the right. Not that the price changed necessarily, but it just became cool to have those like it did last year. Or maybe those animal-shaped rubber bands that you used to have, back when you were in middle school or elementary or whenever that was popular, okay? It was cool. People bought a lot of it. The demand shifts to the right. But the curve can also shift the other direction. It can go to the left. When it shifts to the left, that just means people buy less. Prices are the same, right? But it means that we're going to see quantities decrease at those same prices, and the curve will shift to the left. There's the same 3 things. Your income, rather than increasing, might drop. And now you can't afford to buy as much stuff as you used to. Maybe those 2 substitutes, maybe rather than the price of one getting more expensive and pushing you to buy more of the substitute, maybe the price actually goes down, so you buy less of that substitute. Your demand decreases. And consumer taste, maybe people stop liking something. Maybe it's not as cool as it once was, and so because they don't like it, they don't want to buy as much, the demand will shift to the left. No matter what you think of in terms of your examples or your reasons for it, I hope it makes sense when we talk about a shift to the right or to the left. We're buying more or we're buying less for these 3 reasons. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to supply. We're going to skip this little thing, this example. Skip. Okay. All right. Supply. Pause here.